Well, well, well. Look what we have here. Come crawling back to me, did you? Interesting, but not surprising. The last quest of the, I don't know, man. Quadfecta, the Varlamore 4 quests. The Heart of Darkness. Once again, I would say this. It's a great book if you haven't read it, by the way. Anyway, let's cut to the chase. Here are the prereq requirements and skill levels. This is the inventory I would recommend. A quick serious note, make sure you have the Quetzal feed, soft clay, and limestone bricks to make the new Quetzal landing spot near the major parts of this quest, in case you ever need to transport around. It will help, and I always try to, make sure that if you need to build something to help transport, you should do it. You have to do a gauntlet style fight where you beat up waves of melee and magic NPCs, as well as the cuck that keeps following you around during this quest, and the final boss. Man, Jagex really put some shit for the names in Varlamore. Amoxliatl. Let's make it easy. Bring some melee gear and just fucking womp everything in sight. Okay, that's simple enough, right? To put it in perspective, I brought like half an inventory of food for this whole quest, and I didn't bank it all. So do with that information what you will. Let's darkness the heart of the heart of the cards. Start this quest at the Tiamat, the snow mountain thing in Varlamore. Speak with Prince Itzla to begin the quest. He wants to go undercover and do some, some real hood rat shit, but isn't brave enough to do it alone. So guess who fucking gets to go with him? His mom comes in and spacebar, then leaves. After she leaves, Itzla tells you he never listens to that dusty old bitch and says to go to Quetzacalli Gorge, which you can do by traveling via Quetzal. Surprise, surprise. Head southwest towards Renu and fly to the Quetzacalli Gorge. Once there, head to the Windbreaker pub and speak with the bartender. Ask him to rent the basement room. He will say, "We don't have one of those, me boy. Go be homeless somewhere else." He will then offer to let you rent the ground floor room for 30 coins instead, which is just an insane deal. Purchase the room, then go rest on the bed in the room you just got. When you wake up, you'll find a disguised Prince Itzla, who is in fact the trusted contact he said he knew of. He literally has just pigeonholed you into playing part in his dumbass game. What a guy, huh? He then tells you you need to pretend to be a member of the local cult, because that's also a thing in this quest. Head out east to the Quetzacalli Gorge general store and speak to the shopkeeper, then return to Prince Itzla in the rented room and talk to him. Once done, head over to the temple where he has relocated to. To get there, go through the large gate to the north and run all the way east to the Tower of Ascension. There you can talk to the prince. On the way there, this is where I would recommend building the Quetzal landing site like I mentioned earlier if you brought the materials. Now talking to the prince, he will tell you of a person named Forebearer Janus, who's going to be calling the shots. While we're waiting for him to finish stroking it in the back room, go talk to the recruits outside. You're going to talk to the following nearby people: Nova, Sergius, Felius, and Carita. Never let your finger leave that spacebar. Once you're done, return to Prince Itzla, who does some really cool lore talk, and then Janus says, "The trials are ready to begin." That's right. Another quest slash boss slash something where it's just waves or trial after trial. The post-2020 Jagex specialty. So there are 4 trials in this quest. Some snow maze gauntlet thing and a final boss fight. If at any point you need to leave, you should do it after completing one of these because it serves as kind of like a save point. For the first trial, you're doing some pickpocketing and a puzzle solving. Oh boy. Start by pickpocketing the Emissary ascended in the caged area for a tower key. Then use the key to open the southeastern gate and open the chest to receive a book and a scrap of paper. After that, open the southwestern chest with a keyword. The solution is going to be different for every player and can be determined by connecting the first letter of each highlighted word in the book. As you can see here, my answer is going to be Dawn, D-A-W-N. Simple enough. Once you've unlocked the chest, read the poem you get inside, then talk to Prince Itzla. Now open the northwestern chest with yet another unique code. This code can be determined by relating the words of the poem to the arrow directions on the lock. Basically, whatever order these words show up in, that's the order for the arrows. Really easy. The words you're looking for are Takam, which represents east, Makt, which represents north, Salam, which represents west, and Uit, which represents south. Now you have all the paper scraps, so combine them to reveal the final passcode. Talk to Janny to give him the password and move on to the second trial. So the second trial is, you guessed it, wave-based combat, with melee and mage enemies attacking 2 at a time, then 4 at a time by the end of it. Some of them do like a 3x3 AoE, which can be DOS, and I would recommend prioritize dodging it. As you can see, I do so well here. Also, there are boxes with bandages you can use to heal the prince, so just grab a bunch of them at the beginning, and if he ever gets low, just, you know, spam right or left click and heal him. Really easy. Aside from that, I just use Protect from magic since I had melee gear on and ramrodded all of these guys. It was pretty easy. Don't overthink it. Once the waves are done, talk to Janie and start the third trial. The third trial is yet another whodunit. In this, you must question each member of the cult to work out who the traitor is. The wiki says look for anyone who mentioned this specific thing: uniting and having eternal life in Mitcl, which is MITCL. So I look for anybody who mentions that name, honestly, and it worked for me. Hopefully it does the same for you. You have to talk to all of them, so make sure you do that and then talk to Janie and select the person you think did the bad stuff. Assuming you're right, the fourth trial can now begin. And the fourth trial is a top 10 anime betrayal of the Cuck Lord himself. That's right, you get to fight Prince Itzla. He's really weak, slow, fat, lethargic. He's pretty simple. Just pray protect from melee and avoid his two special attacks, which are like this frontal AoE attack and a sword swipe, which disables your prayer. He will warn you in advance when he's about to use his AoE attack, and when he does, just run behind him immediately. When he turns off your prayers, just fucking turn them back on. Mind-bending mechanics, I know. You also can't use special attacks on him for some reason, so don't bother. Eventually, he loses. Shocker, I know. And you can move on to the super secret, spooky 5th trial. Holla fucking Luya. Now talk to Forebearer Janice after the fight and go open the chest in the room to get a set of Emissary robes. Equip the Emissary robes, speak to Prince Itzla to have him follow you, and then enter the temple to the east. A cutscene plays that, I don't know what happens, then you can speak to Forebearer Fides. Once you're done with them, enter the ruins south of the temple and go downstairs. Welcome to the Ice Dungeon. Once you're in the Ice Dungeon, take a pickaxe from the barrel near the entrance and mine the rocks in the way. Right after that, some Frost Nagua are going to spawn. Just run past them using Protect from magic if you want to. There's also going to be these spiked things on the ground, which you can avoid by run tricking them. For anybody who doesn't know what that means, you can stand on a tile by the trap, then run over it onto the next tile, avoiding the spikes. As you can tell, I didn't have patience for this. I just fucking went. Eventually you'll come to a wall with a lever, which you should absolutely pull. Once you've pulled the lever, climb down the ledge, then run past the frost crabs while avoiding the traps, or just, not avoiding them. Shortly after, you'll get to an icy ledge. Slide along the icy ledge, ignoring your Morning's End Part 2 PTSD, and then enter the room in the northeast and pull the second lever. Now continue to the cave and jump over the frozen platforms to get to the west side. Climb down another ledge and run into the northwestern room with stone chests to pull the third lever. Now walk southwest to the large gate and pull the fourth lever located on the northern wall next to the gate. Also, go ahead and pull that chain near you before continuing, as this allows you to climb up and down it in the future. It's basically a shortcut. The next room can be really annoying, so I'm sure that's going to be helpful, but either way, be ready. Walk west through the gate where you're going to be doing this weird gauntlet run thing while you're being attacked by the Frost Naguas. You can either tank their damage or use Protect from magic. Your objective is to search the urns located just inside the room and collect 3 colored icons. This is when the Frost Naguas are also going to start to spawn. Once you're done collecting the 3 colors, head over to the western area and fix the broken statues with the corresponding colored icons you got. When I say fix, it's really just put the icons in the little slots that they're supposed to be in. To do this, look at the little symbol on the statues and match it up with the color icon. It's pretty simple. Blue is water, white is air, red is fire. You know the drill at this point. Now is where it can be really annoying. So what you basically have to do for the next step is inspect these 4 markings in the 4 corners of the area. Each marking represents one of the color statues you just got repaired. Red is fire, blue is water, etc. Basically, the trick to this is there are 4 words: Zima, Oma, Yeya, and Naui. Zima is 1, Oma is 2, Yeya is 3, and Naui is 4. You have to inspect the 4 markings and remember when each of these words showed up. You might have Zima showed up on the blue water one and Oma showed up on the red fire one. It's different for every player. Inspect all 4 markings and remember which word corresponds to which color. Then you have to go touch each of the statues in the correct order. In my humble example, I got this. Zima showed up with the air symbol, meaning air is 1. Then Oma showed up under the fire symbol, which means fire is 2. Yeya is 3, which showed up under the water symbol, so water is 3. And Naui showed up under the earth symbol, so earth is 4. Air, fire, water, and earth. Eventually the door will open and you can go in and fight the final boss, the Amoxliatl. Alright, so fighting the Amoxliatl, if you've ever done Moons of Peril, it's really similar to those fights in terms of mechanics and cadence. In saying that, what it basically means is it typically only has 2 or 3 mechanics and the cadence is really slow, so it's really easy to dodge a lot of this stuff. First off, pray protect from magic, which negates all of the boss's regular attacks. The special attacks the boss has are spikes that pop up, which you can just move out of. Weirdly enough, the tile that you stand on when it goes off does keep this weird crack thing in the ground that does damage if you step on it again, which makes this kind of like a DPS race, because slowly you're going to run out of places to stand on. But honestly, you shouldn't struggle too much. Just dodge the spikes and don't step on tiles with cracks if you can help it. The boss also disables protection prayers, which just like, every other boss, you can just literally reactivate them as soon as they're gone. So react quickly and reapply protection prayers as needed. The last mechanic Amoxliatl has is blocks that she summons, which will deal area damage and heal her if they're not destroyed fast enough. Basically, as soon as they spawn, run to them and kill them. I literally only had to do this mechanic once and I very easily defeated the blocks and they did not heal her or do damage. Aside from that, just, smash this bitch and get on with your life. Simple enough. Once the boss is dead, you can leave, preferably using a Civi Fortis teleport tab, because it's right next to the end of the quest. Travel to Sunrise Palace and speak with Servius, who will tell you thank you for doing all 4 of these quests for minimal reward and recognition. And thank you, kind viewer, for tagging along with me. I hope you had fun.